Hi, my name is Dr. Lori Wieters, here again to talk about a part of the work I do as an industrial organizational psychologist. Every good IO psychologist needs a model that they follow as they work inside of organizations. And I use a more human model versus a systems model that you might see in other areas of the IO research. When I finished my doctoral work in 2007, this is the model I created from the most significant fit, engagement, and retention indicators at the three levels I looked at in the work that I did. I created this model, and then over the last 10 years, I've perfected assessments or partnered with other organizations for assessments for each one of these 12 indicators. So it's really interesting as you study the human side of the organization, how much of the organization is impacted when the humans are not engaged in the work that they're being asked to do. So as I work with organizations, I lay this model down on a table and we investigate how it's going with these 12 indicators. So let's start at the bottom and job fit, how a person feels as though they fit into their job. The first box on the left, the behaviors, cognition, and intellect, tells us how the person will do the work. Behaviorally, are they aligned to the work demands that you have in the work itself? Cognitively, are they aligned to the work? And then do they have the intellect, either emotional or IQ, to get the work done you're asking them to do? Knowledge, skills, and ability, those three things applied become experience. And so knowledge, skills, and abilities are another area to begin to assess whether or not the person has the knowledge, skills, and ability or experience to get the work done that you're asking them to do. The third area is values and beliefs. How the individual feels about the environment fit and the organizational fit. A lot of organizations I work with don't think a lot about the values and beliefs of the individual, although my values and beliefs and yours too will drive whether or not you'll stay in that work environment that you're in. The last fit here, or indicator here, is motivation. It is one word in a box, but I believe it's the most important word in that level is motivation. Am I intrinsically or extrinsically motivated to do the work you're asking me to do? And by the way, if I'm not motivated to do the work, I become disengaged, dissatisfied, whatever word you want to use, and I become less apt to give you my full knowledge, skills, and ability. I begin to question whether my values and beliefs are aligned with the organization, and behaviorally, if I'm not a good fit for the job, I basically stop trying to fit. So maybe I fit for a lot of years in the job, and then all of a sudden you'll notice that employee beginning to struggle. And some of that comes down not just to their behavioral fit, but if you increase their motivation, it repairs some of these other areas. So over the last 10 years I've been working with this, I know that motivation is the key to this level. Next level is the environment fit. Now in this environment fit, the leader has a lot of pressure here, because the leader actually has a lot to do with the motivation of the individual at the job fit level. If the leader's not effective for that employee, we all know that motivation goes down, and then the cascade happens through values and belief, knowledge, skills, and abilities, and then behaviors, cognition, intellect. So how I feel about this environment level is really important. So do I fit with my individual peers, either on my team or in the organization? How do I fit in the team as a whole? Am I on the in-group or the out-group? Or does my leader do a good job of making us all one team? And work conditions is like a big bucket of stuff, I'm going to call it, because it could be everything from I need more money, which we hear a lot, to how far I drive to work, to the work conditions, is it hot, is it cold, to my keyboard doesn't work. I mean, there's a lot of things that fit into that work conditions bucket. Some safety information also fits in there. It's really interesting as I've been working inside of organizations that people will start to complain about work conditions before they complain about their leader. It's almost like they're trying to cover up the fact that their leader is the problem. And so what happens typically is the leader runs around trying to fix all these work conditions for this employee versus looking in the mirror and going, what am I doing that might be creating all of these complaints or this situation or this scenario that's going on? So a lot of organizations have me working with the leader level in order to help them become more effective. This is where executive coaching comes in, some leader training, some HR training, things like that. So the leader has some tools to use as they try to lead these teams of people. And then the third layer of fit is person-organizational fit. Vision, mission, values, customer, and culture. Each one of these boxes contain huge assessments. So from a cultural perspective, we might look at current state, future state, and then do some planning on that. There could be the strategic planning fits in there, the scorecards, the goals, anything that the organization uses to drive their culture. Some customer assessments. Do I have the right customer mix? Do I have the right customers? Am I spread too thin? There's a lot of assessment that goes in at the customer level. The values. Do my organizational leaders, do I role model the values of the organization for the other individuals who are working in that organization so they know how to act? And then mission and vision. How am I driving the future of the organization through my mission and vision? And how do I get everyone at the person job fit aligned to the mission and vision that I'm trying to achieve as an organization? Now, these three levels of fit are extremely important for organizational leaders to examine. When I sit with a leader inside of an organization, it's really interesting because they've never really thought about their organization in these 12 layers. And as we begin to assess each one of these areas, it becomes almost overwhelming as to the amount of work that needs to be done. I would encourage you as an industrial organizational psychologist or someone who's interested in the field to adopt some sort of model that fits the work that you're doing. I adopted this model, and then, as I said before, I created tools or partnered with organizations to have tools to work at each one of these layers. I hope that this information has been valuable for you. I want to thank you for listening. And over the next few weeks, I hope to introduce you to some of the tools I use in each one of these layers. Have a great day.